A man in his late 60s had quietly accepted that his prime was over until one ordinary afternoon changed everything. He reached for a drink made from ingredients he'd had in his kitchen for years. Within just 20 minutes, something remarkable happened. His energy roared back, his confidence surged, and his body responded like it hadn't in decades. No prescriptions. No risky surgeries. Just a simple, natural mix that worked with his body, not against it. I'm Dr. Mohit Kara, a urologist and men's health specialist with over 3 decades of experience helping men reignite their vitality. I've worked with thousands of veterans, farmers, teachers, executives, men who believed their performance struggles were a permanent sentence. But what I'm about to reveal has helped them turn back the clock in ways they thought were gone forever. We've been told that age alone is to blame for slowing down, that fatigue, low drive, and fading strength are inevitable. But here's the truth. For most men, age isn't the real enemy. It's blocked blood flow, hormonal imbalances, and missing nutrients. And the most effective fix isn't locked in a lab or hidden behind a pharmacy counter. It's probably sitting in your pantry right now. Today, I'm going to share 5 specific vinegar-based blends that can open up your arteries, safeguard your testosterone, and supercharge your energy some working in as little as 20 minutes. Stay with me, because in a moment, I'll also reveal the ultimate power blend, a single recipe that combines the best of all 5 into one drink so potent it's restored performance for men well into their 70s and even 80s. Let's start with Formula 1 of powerful, deceptively simple mix: apple cider vinegar and raw honey. 2 everyday ingredients that, together, can widen blood vessels and shield testosterone like a fortress. When I think back on my years working with men over 60, one thing stands out. Nature often hides its most powerful solutions in plain sight. I'll never forget Walter, a 72-year-old retired firefighter. He walked into my office certain nothing but a prescription could make him feel alive again. His energy had drained away, his confidence was crumbling, and intimacy with his wife had become awkward and rare. When I suggested this mix, he raised an eyebrow but agreed to try it. Less than a week later, he called, his voice shaking with excitement, to say, "Something's happening, and it feels incredible." Apple cider vinegar may look humble on a shelf, but inside that bottle is acetic acid, a compound that acts like a master key, unlocking stiff, narrowed arteries. Over the years, plaque and inflammation clog those vessels, just like old pipes in a house. ACV helps break down those blockages, eases inflammation, and lets blood flow freely again. But the real magic happens when you pair it with raw, unfiltered honey, thick, golden, and alive with enzymes. Raw honey contains a flavonoid called chrysin, a natural testosterone bodyguard. It blocks the aromatase enzyme, which slowly steals your male hormones by turning them into estrogen. Most men don't realize how much of their testosterone disappears this way over time. By protecting hormone levels and restoring blood flow, this simple combination doesn't just boost performance, it revives a man's sense of himself. Here's how I recommend preparing it. Mix 2 tablespoons of organic apple cider vinegar with 1 teaspoon of raw, unfiltered honey in 8 ounces of warm water. Sip it about 30 minutes before you want to feel your absolute best. The warm water wakes up the enzymes in the honey and speeds absorption, so the benefits reach you faster. What Walter noticed first wasn't just a stronger spark in the bedroom. It was how he felt all day long. His mood lifted, his focus sharpened, and he told me he felt lighter, as if an invisible weight he'd been carrying for years had suddenly been set down. That's the kind of change that doesn't just touch the body, it transforms the way you move through life, the way you connect with your partner, and even how you see yourself in the mirror. The beauty of this blend is in its gentleness. No shocks to your system, just steady, natural support. Over time, it helps keep your arteries clear, your hormones balanced, and your energy consistent. A small daily choice with the power to completely shift your health and confidence. But as great as this is, it's just the first step. The next formula takes a bolder, more direct route, breaking down years of hidden blockages and driving fresh, oxygen-rich blood exactly where it's needed most. And it starts with something you've probably walked past in the grocery store 100 times without a second thought. If this first formula has opened your eyes to what's possible, drop a 1 in the comments so I know you're here. Now, let's step into the second formula. White vinegar plus fresh ginger. I'll never forget. Frank, a 68-year-old retired construction worker with hands like sandpaper and a determination as solid as steel. He sat across from me, leaning forward, with that no-nonsense stare, and said, "Doc, I'm not ready to hang it up, but nothing's working anymore." His doctor had told him to accept it, that after a decade of struggling with performance, there was nothing left to do but learn to live with it. But Frank wasn't buying that, and I knew exactly what to give him. White vinegar is often overlooked because it doesn't have the trendy health halo of apple cider vinegar. But what it does have is pure, concentrated acetic acid cleaning, crew for your arteries. Over the years, calcium deposits and hardened plaque can turn blood vessels into stiff pipes, making it harder for blood to move freely. That's a major reason performance and energy fade. White vinegar starts dissolving those deposits, restoring flexibility and allowing fresh, oxygen-rich blood to flow. Add fresh ginger, and the game changes completely. Not powdered ginger from the back of the spice cabinet, but fresh, firm ginger root that releases its oils the moment you grate it. Ginger is packed with compounds like gingerols and shoggols, which relax the smooth muscles in your vessels and trigger your body to release more nitric oxide, an essential molecule for strong, lasting performance. The method is simple but precise. 1 teaspoon of white vinegar, 1 teaspoon of freshly grated ginger, mixed into half a cup of warm water. Drink it about 20 minutes before you need it. That's enough time for the vinegar to start clearing the pathways and the ginger to send circulation into overdrive. I told Frank to give it 1 week. 3 days later, I got an email, short, direct, and impossible to forget. Asterisk, "Doc, I woke up this morning feeling like I was 20 again." That was Frank's first line. By the end of that week, he and his wife were smiling more, talking more, and reconnecting in ways they hadn't in years. He even told me his knees felt better, less stiffness, thanks to ginger's natural anti-inflammatory punch. This formula isn't just about improving blood flow. It's about jump-starting the very systems that make a man feel alive. When circulation improves, everything shifts. Your stamina rises, your focus sharpens, your recovery time shortens. It's like flipping the master switch on vitality. But as remarkable as Frank's turnaround was, there's a blend that works even deeper, not only opening blood vessels, but actually repairing and rebuilding them from the inside out. And it comes from an ingredient so rich and indulgent, most people think of it as something you drizzle on a salad, not as a key to restoring performance. Balsamic vinegar plus pure pomegranate juice. I met Arthur, a 70-year-old retired Navy officer, with a firm handshake and a quiet frustration he didn't openly share. He kept himself in decent shape, ate fairly well, and still walked a couple of miles most days. But something had shifted over the years. His energy wasn't the same, his confidence faltered, and intimacy had started to feel more like effort than enjoyment. "I've still got the will, Doc," he said, "but I think my body's forgotten how to follow through." That's when I introduced him to what I call the vessel repair crew. Balsamic vinegar is so much more than a sweet, tangy topping. It's packed with polyphenols, plant compounds that fight oxidative stress and strengthen the fragile inner lining of your blood vessels, called the endothelium. Over time, that lining can become rough and damaged, like sandpaper inside a hose, slowing blood flow and making performance harder to achieve and sustain. Balsamic vinegar smooths that surface, restoring the easy glide of healthy circulation. Then comes pure pomegranate juice, bringing its own heavy artillery. Polycollagens. These rare antioxidants act like a specialized repair team, reducing inflammation and helping regenerate healthy vessel tissue. Together with balsamic's polyphenols, they don't just improve circulation now, they help reverse years of gradual decline at its root. I told Arthur to mix 2 tablespoons of high-quality balsamic vinegar with 4 ounces of pure, unsweetened pomegranate juice. Purity is everything here. Most store-bought juices are watered down with sugar and fillers, which weaken the effect. He drank it twice a day, once in the morning on an empty stomach for maximum absorption, and again about an hour before he wanted peak performance. Within 2 weeks, Arthur's cautious optimism turned into genuine excitement. "Doc, I'm not just noticing changes in the bedroom. My morning walks feel lighter. My breathing is easier. My legs feel stronger." The boost in circulation wasn't limited to one area. It was giving his entire cardiovascular system lift. And with that came a confidence you can't fake. This blend is about far more than just opening the floodgates. It's not just about opening the vessels. It's about repairing them so they stay open. For men who want more than a quick spark or looking for a lasting transformation, this is one of the most reliable natural strategies I've seen. But there's a way to push this even further, by syncing with your body's own chemistry to naturally produce the raw material for nitric oxide, bypassing the limitations of most over-the-counter supplements. And that's where the next formula born from a surprising Japanese tradition completely changes the game. Rice vinegar plus watermelon extract. A few years ago, at a medical conference in Tokyo, I met Dr. Kenji Yamamoto, a soft-spoken researcher with an extraordinary discovery. He had been studying rural Japanese communities where men in their 70s and 80s still enjoyed the kind of vitality most men in the West lose decades earlier. His findings were astonishing. These men regularly consumed a simple mix of rice vinegar and watermelon-based drinks. The moment I heard it, I understood why it worked and why it could be a breakthrough for my own patients. Rice vinegar is unlike any other vinegar. It's gentler, slightly alkaline, and rich in amino acids that help balance the body's pH, creating the ideal environment for nutrient absorption. It's not just about keeping blood vessels clear. It's about priming your system to use every nutrient you feed it. That's where watermelon extract enters the picture. Watermelon extract is loaded with citrulline, an amino acid your body converts into arginine. Arginine is the raw material for nitric oxide, the molecule responsible for relaxing and expanding blood vessels so more blood can flow exactly where it's needed. The beauty of citrulline is that it bypasses the digestive breakdown that destroys most arginine supplements, slipping through your system and converting right where your vessels need it most, triggering a clean, natural boost in circulation. When I recommend this blend, I tell patients to mix 1 teaspoon of rice vinegar with 2 ounces of pure watermelon extract in a small glass of room temperature water. The timing matters. Drink it about 45 minutes before activity, so the citrulline to arginine conversion peaks right when you need it. Robert, a 66-year-old former marathon runner, summed it up perfectly after trying it. "Doc, it's like my body remembered exactly how to perform, and it stayed that way for hours." And the benefits didn't stop there. Men often reported feeling more energized throughout the day, recovering faster after workouts, and even noticing more stamina for everyday things: yard work, long walks, or playing with the grandkids. No jitters, no crash, just a steady, confident kind of energy. This isn't about forcing your body into action. It's about giving it the exact tools it needs to do what it was designed to do, no matter your age. For many, it's the first time in years they've felt the kind of natural power without leaning on medication. But while this blend lays the foundation for exceptional circulation and stamina, the next formula adds an entirely new dimension one. That fuels not just physical readiness, but mental sharpness and emotional connection. It creates an experience that's as much about closeness as it is about performance. Red wine. Vinegar plus dark chocolate pear was a 69-year-old retired French chef who had built his life around flavor, romance, and beauty. But when he sat down in my office, there was a heaviness in his eyes that no fine meal could hide. He confessed that while his love for his wife hadn't faded, his ability to express it physically had. "Doc," he said quietly, "I can still prepare the perfect dinner, but I can't finish the evening the way I used to." I knew instantly this wasn't only about intimacy. It was about the loss of the passion and confidence that had always defined him. So I introduced him to a formula that works on two levels at once. Red wine vinegar and dark chocolate. Red wine vinegar is rich in resveratrol, a potent compound that reduces inflammation, improves circulation, and shields the cardiovascular system from decline. Asterisk, by opening blood vessels and improving their flexibility, red wine vinegar helps the body deliver oxygen-rich blood exactly where it's needed. But that's only half the story. Dark chocolate, real dark chocolate, with at least 70% cacao, is a powerhouse in its own right. Its flavonoids boost nitric oxide production for better circulation, while phenylethylamine sparks feelings of attraction and pleasure. Then there's anandamide, often called the bliss molecule, which helps melt away stress and shift the body from tension into relaxation. For many men, that stress relief is just as important as improved circulation, because anxiety can sabotage performance faster than any physical limitation. The preparation is simple and almost indulgent. Dissolve 1 teaspoon of red wine vinegar in 2 ounces of warm water. Drink it, then immediately follow with 1 ounce, 3 or 4 squares of quality dark chocolate. The warm water speeds vinegar absorption, while the chocolate begins working on your mood and circulation within minutes. Pierre told me that the first time he tried it, he felt not just physically ready, but emotionally engaged, his mind and body finally working together again. What I love about this combination is how it addresses both the physical and emotional aspects of male vitality. It's not just about performance, it's about being present, connected, and confident in the moment. For men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond, that emotional connection can be as powerful as any physical boost. Pierre and his wife eventually made this a shared ritual: a glass of warm vinegar water, a square of chocolate, and a knowing smile. Let's just say, their evenings took on a new energy. And now, after walking you through all 5 of these powerful combinations, it's time for the grand finale, because while each of these formulas can work wonders on its own, there's a way to combine the most potent elements into one ultimate blend. A drink so effective, it's helped men well into their 80s reclaim vitality they thought was gone for good. The ultimate power blend, after seeing these formulas transform so many lives, I knew there had to be a way to unite their strongest elements. The result brings together the artery-opening power of apple cider vinegar, the testosterone protection of raw honey, the circulation surge from fresh ginger, the vessel-repairing antioxidants of pure pomegranate juice, the nutrient absorption boost from rice vinegar, the mood-lifting, stress-reducing magic of dark chocolate. Watched men in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s rediscover vitality they thought had faded forever. They stand taller, speak with more confidence, and reconnect with their partners in ways they hadn't imagined in years. And the best part? This isn't about forcing your body into action. It's about restoring the natural systems that age has quietly slowed down. The recipe is simple. The ingredients are affordable. And the results? They can be life-changing if you stay consistent. I've seen it. My patients have felt it. And I believe you can too. So take the first step. Try the blend. Give yourself permission to feel alive again, because your best days don't have to be behind you. They can start right now.